In a quiet, sun-soaked village named Devpur, there lived a boy called Arun, a clever kid with dreams higher than the mountains, but with laziness heavier than a sleeping ox on a summer noon. Every dawn, his mother would yell, "Arun, wake up! The sun is already boiling the fields." Arun would murmur, "Just 5 more minutes, Ma," and then drift off again for nearly an hour. He always said he wanted to become someone great. He admired the achievers in the nearby town, businessmen, school teachers, even the local guard who walked around proudly in his pressed uniform. But Arun never stayed consistent with anything. One morning he'd swear he would start exercising. The next, he'd skip it completely. One evening he'd plan to study hard. The next, he'd be chasing kites on the rooftop. Arun had ambition, but zero discipline. One evening, he crossed paths with Hari Chacha, a retired military man who lived at the village border. Every single morning, without fail, Hari Chacha woke up at 4 a.m., swept his yard, did push-ups, read for an hour, and tended to his garden. Arun couldn't understand it. Why so much effort? He had no boss, no deadlines, no obligations. One day Arun asked, "Chacha, why do you follow the exact same routine daily? Doesn't it get boring? Aren't you exhausted?" Hari Chacha smiled gently, wiped the sweat from his brow, and replied, "Beta, habits are like seeds. What you plant now grows later. You won't see results today, but eventually your habits will either lift you or bury you." Arun didn't completely understand, but those words stuck deep. That night he tossed and turned, thinking about every time he quit halfway, every plan he abandoned. What if success wasn't luck at all? What if it was simply the result of habits? The next morning before sunrise, Arun forced himself out of bed. His body begged, "Please sleep." But he remembered Hari Chacha's words. He splashed water on his face, tied his worn-out shoes, and went for a run. He couldn't even cover 200 meters without panting like he'd crossed a desert. But he didn't stop. Day 2, he ran again. Day 3, again. By day 7, his legs still throbbed, but he sensed something different. He felt a little stronger. So he added a second habit, studying for 1 hour every single day. No excuses, no announcements, no bragging, just consistency. Months went by. One evening, resting under the banyan tree, he realized he was smiling. His body felt lighter, his thinking clearer, his energy steady through the whole day. Discipline had stopped being a chore and started becoming natural. One of his friends, Manoj, asked, "Arun, how did you change so much? You used to be the emperor of laziness." Arun laughed. "I didn't change in a day. I just repeated small actions until they became part of who I am." Soon an opportunity appeared, a government job opening requiring both physical fitness and a written exam. Arun applied immediately. On test day, boys from the village gathered, some confident, some terrified. Arun stayed calm. The whistle blew. Everyone started running. Some sprinted fast and burned out early. Arun kept a steady, controlled rhythm. Months of habit carried him forward. When motivation faded, discipline didn't. He cleared the physical round. Next was the written test. Others tried to cram everything in one night. Arun didn't need to. 1 hour a day for months had built a rock-solid foundation. He passed that too. Weeks later, the letter arrived. "Congratulations, you have been selected." Arun stood frozen. His hands shook. His mother stared wide-eyed. He whispered, tears gathering, "Ma, your son made it." She embraced him tightly. The whole village celebrated. But the proudest person wasn't Arun. It was Hari Chacha. "Beta," he said with a glowing smile, "motivation gets you started, but habits carry you when your strength fades." Moral of the story: we think major change needs major effort, but real transformation comes from small habits done every single day, not once, not for a week, but until they become part of your identity. You don't need to change your whole life at once. Start with one small habit. Walk 10 minutes, read 5 pages, do 10 push-ups, wake up 15 minutes earlier. Your habits shape your future. Choose them wisely. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Start your habit today, no matter how small, because tiny steps create massive change. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss another moment that could change your life.